As part of Archery Talk's 2017 hunting bow project, we've done 6 reviews of flagship hunting bows, which you can find on our YouTube and Facebook channels. We're also doing some head-to-head comparison videos, including this one where we look at the Bowtech Reign 6 against the Bear LS-6. Both bows are dressed in QAD drop-away rests, Trophy Ridge React H5 sights, and they're sharing a Bee Stinger counterslide stabilizer. The Bowtech Reign 6 has an axle-to-axle length of 32 5/8 inches, a brace height of 6 inches, an IBO rated speed of 350 feet per second, and a mass weight of 4.3 pounds. The Bear LS-6 has an axle-to-axle length of 32 1/4 inches, a brace height of 5 inches, an IBO rated speed of 355 feet per second, and a mass weight of 4.2 pounds. To test for speed, I ran each of these bows through a chrono set up with what I thought was 29 1/2 inches of draw length, 60 pounds of draw weight, and using a Gold Tip Valkyrie 398 grain arrow. With that setup, both bows provided really good speeds. The Bear came in with an average of 309 feet per second, while the Bowtech had an average of 302 feet per second. However, when I put both bows on the draw board, the Bear came in over an inch long on draw length. That's going to knock off somewhere in the neighborhood of 10 feet per second. I'm not a big fan of the draw cycle of either of these two bows, but that's not entirely unexpected. These are both set up to be performance-oriented machines. I'll give a slight edge here to the Bowtech. In the performance setting, the draw is a little stiff, which I understand, but the dump into the valley is more severe than I like. Once in the valley, things feel much better, as you can afford to relax and stay at full draw for a long while if need be. The back wall is nice and firm for a cable stop bow, and letting down is fairly aggressive. However, if you use the comfort setting instead of performance, the draw cycle smooths out a fair bit. The Bear LS-6 also has a stiff draw, though it starts out fairly smooth before a somewhat harsh dump into the valley. I don't love how the bow feels at full draw, as the valley is very short and the bow only has 70% let off. You need to stay aggressive or the bow can get pretty jumpy. When it comes to grip, I'm going to give the edge to the Bear LS-6. The grip on this bow is nice and flat and fits my hand comfortably, though I don't care for the screws that stick out a bit on the sides. The grip on the Bowtech Reign is my least favorite of the 6 hunting bows I've tested this year. It's a very rounded design and quite narrow, and I've not been able to get comfortable with it. I was initially concerned with how accurate I'd be able to be with a bow with a 5-inch brace height. I've just never shot a 5-inch brace height bow before. Fortunately, the Bear LS-6 proved to be a pretty accurate shooter. Though I don't like how short the valley on this bow is, I think having to stay aggressive on the shot ultimately helped me group better. I was quite happy with the groups I was getting out to 40 yards. The Reign 6 also led me to some very good groups, but only if I was on point with my form and shot execution. Out to 60 yards, I shot some of my best groups with the Reign, but I also shot some of my worst. I can't really blame the bow for my failings, but I didn't find the Reign to be as forgiving as some of the other bows I've tested this year. However, if I had to take one shot at an animal with one of these two bows, I think I'd want the Reign 6 in my hand. For my money, you can't beat a Bowtech for ease of tuning. You have top and bottom yokes for amazing control over arrow flight. There's also some very cool technology in the way of this micro-sync dial. This little beauty allows you to dial in cam timing without a bow press. A couple of clicks on the top or bottom micro-sync dial and you are good to go without having to make a trip to a dealer if you don't happen to have your own bow press. I have had a little more trouble getting the Bear LS-6 to tune for me. I've not gotten a very good tear through paper at all with this bow. However, I've got 6 hunting bows I'm testing right now and can't dedicate a ton of time to getting a good tune in. In the hands of a better tuner than I am, or maybe even having stiffer arrows, I think you can get this bow to shoot quite well. I'm impressed with the fit and finish on both of these bows, but I think I'm going to give the edge here to the Bowtech, really thanks to that slick-looking Cryptek Raid camo pattern. Outside of a little serving separation on one of the cables, the bow is holding up really well. As for the Bear LS-6, I think the shadow black color on this riser looks really nice, although the riser design does take a little bit of getting used to. I am seeing some serving separation at the D-loop, but it might be that I torqued down too hard when I was initially setting it up. The one issue I'm having with this bow is the peep sight. When the bow is at rest, the peep sight is kind of pointed straight left, but when it comes to full draw, it will center itself. It's an oddity, but ultimately it is working. At $899, the Bear is $100 cheaper than the Bowtech, but I'm still going to give the edge to the Reign 6 in value. Technology like the micro-sync dials and performance and comfort settings add a lot of value and versatility to this bow. If I'm spending my money on one of these two bows, I'm going with the Bowtech Reign 6. Outside of the $100 price hit and a grip I don't really love, the Bowtech doesn't trail in any of the categories we've mentioned here.